Well, hello. I am live here today to talk a little bit about mindfulness. Now, you might wonder why I'm sitting here wiping my plants. And of course, I haven't scheduled this live, so who knows who will show up. So this week is European Mental Health Awareness Week. Oh my God, see, good start. Good start. It's European Mental Health Awareness Week. Last week it was Mental Health Awareness Week in the UK, and I think it goes for a whole month in the US. So I'm sitting here in Finland. It's a warm day. I'm wearing a t-shirt and I'm cleaning my plants. And what does that have to do with mindfulness, I hear you ask? Maybe you didn't ask. Maybe you don't care. But really doing things like this, these small little details of getting in touch with your green plants, which is fun. This is my beautiful peace lily, and she's quite spectacular. Yeah, she's looking pretty good. But what does that have to do with mindfulness? Well, it is about stopping a little bit, and instead of kind of thinking that you have to be still and meditate, yes, that is a form of mindfulness, but it's also getting in touch with your senses and noticing what is happening right now, right in the present. So doing a little job, which is, I think plants love this. They love it when you wipe their leaves. They are very happy when you wipe all the dust off. It's probably human skin. You didn't want to know that. I know you didn't want to know it's a little bit of human skin you're wiping off. But there you go. It's live and anything can come out of my mouth. So mindfulness to me, I'm a mindfulness instructor, and I became a mindfulness instructor. I had used it on and off my whole life, different techniques that I have learned to manage just being alive, being a human being in this kind of busy world. And so I decided to do that, to become an instructor, and went through the course, and I did it in Swedish because I wanted to also work locally here, because I think it's something that people think it's something that they can't do. And if it is as simple as wiping a leaf, and not just wiping a leaf, I mean, to really kind of do this and be really zen, I would be noticing all of the little details on the leaf. I'm wiping the dust. I am not thinking about anything else but the leaf, the dust, the cloth in my hand, how it feels in my hand, and perhaps even getting the dust out of the little veins on these leaves. And that's what I'm thinking about, completely present and in the moment. You don't have to, you can, but you don't have to meditate for 20 minutes. You don't have to. Sorry about the noise in the background. I live in a small town. You don't have to meditate. And for many people, moments of mindfulness can be many and varied and in different places. It's sitting in your car and it's taking a deep breath and connecting with you. And yourself and your body and how your body feels. It's your sensory experience of standing in the shopping queue, waiting with your trolley full of shopping, and it's taking a deep breath and feeling your feet on the floor and maybe even your hands on the shopping cart, and as you're waiting. And those moments of mindfulness can help us get through when we're busy. I'm not so busy anymore, and I also get my groceries delivered nowadays. But I remember those times when I had 2 kids and I worked full time and was driving a lot. I now don't have a car. My life has completely changed since I had younger children. Now that we don't have any children at home, it is different, but it's not without its stresses as well. So whilst my life has changed, many people are still very stressful, dealing with a lot of different competing demands, as I like to call them. You're dealing with demands on your life. It might be aging parents, or it might be a sick relative, or it might be your children who live close by. It could be a myriad of job-related issues. It might even be issues like the people you deal with online, because that is something, as all of you are here, and hello to new people here. I'm sitting cleaning my plants and talking about mindfulness. I think sometimes online we can forget, we get like sucked in, and all of these apps and platforms are designed to grab our attention. And the onus is on us then to step back and put our attention elsewhere, that we are focusing on the sensations in our body. I know my brain goes a little bit, I can feel it not loving hours on a screen. And I mean, I do spend a lot of time on my screen. I just, for example, yesterday spoke to my sister who lives in Australia we spoke for 2 hours, and I spoke to my mum. She also lives in Australia just before. So the screen is like, it can be a great way of connecting, but I'm also in the spaces showing up, and it does have an impact on your mental health. So in kind of these little activities, wiping the dust off the leaves of your plant, for example, is one way of connecting with your senses, connecting with your plant. Listening to my voice. She is so delightfully gorgeous, this lovely little peace lily, and she really does love having her leaves dusted. So it is, I think, a lovely experience for her too. I think she would appreciate it. It's a little bit reciprocal. You're also really, really beneficial to have green in your life. Our brains are wired for greenery, and I appreciate the green because I live in a country where for many, many months of the year there is no green. And so having indoor plants is really important. I also live in an apartment, so we don't have a garden. So just even the colour green in a picture is good, but that's why plants are good. I have talked about plants before. I think I've written about it as well. And when I was talking about growth last month, and how it's important, I think, to have kind of a living thing that you're caring for. And for me, since moving here, it's been plants. So that is something to do with mindfulness. And when people usually say, I can't do it, it's because they haven't kind of really considered the fact that they can't do mindfulness. I mean, they haven't necessarily considered the fact that it can be that process of connecting with your senses. And what's really fascinating is that I write a lot of poetry, and I have a bit of poetry published, which I don't talk about very often. I should talk about it more. But writing poetry can be such an incredibly sensory experience, and it's another beautiful way. I think as poets, you're trying to, when you're writing a poem, you're often connecting to your wider senses. So poetry can be a beautiful, mindful experience in the writing process. And I find that people maybe, they kind of have more mindful moments than they perhaps realize in their day. And why is this important for our mental health? Well, I think most people I know have had some kind of mental health struggles, and it might be small things or it could be really big things. And obviously there are multiple ways of dealing with it, including seeing medical practitioners. But one of the ways that you can kind of build resilience, and all the research shows it too, if you're a research-focused person, I'm a little bit research-focused person, all the research shows that taking time regularly to practice mindfulness, whether it is wiping your plants or whether it is a meditation, a visualization, whether it's a mindful walk, walking along without your headphones on, without listening to an audiobook, which can be really good. But what happens when you remove that extra stimuli is that you have this different experience. And I guess it depends on where you're living. If you're living somewhere where the traffic is really noisy, maybe it is good to have headphones on. I see a lot of people here. I live in this beautiful natural place where I've like 2 minutes walk from, I'm in a forest and near the water. People wear headphones a lot, and it's also a bit dangerous because the bike paths are shared, so they can't hear that you're coming on a bike. But it also means that that's one sense that you're kind of taking away, and then your brain is preoccupied, not necessarily on what's happening around you, the flowers, the trees. I just saw a hedgehog today. It was kind of like, I feel like my life is complete. We don't have hedgehogs in Australia. We have echidnas. So I hadn't seen a hedgehog. I've been here 7 years, have not seen one hedgehog, and there today it happened. So I would have missed that. I heard it. And I would have missed that beautiful moment where I could connect with this animal on my little walk. It wasn't a long walk. It was longer than I thought because of the hedgehog. So mindfulness really, in terms of building a toolkit for your to help with with your mental health, it's not the be all and end all. I think you have to have many different tools, and that is one of them, because it does come in many different forms. There are many different ways of practicing mindfulness. So it is a big part of my life. I talk about it a lot. I think about it a lot, and it's certainly a way of fucking flourishing, which is what I'm here for and what it's all about. So I am actually going to be going live every day this week, and I will schedule them in. I didn't schedule this one, and I'm quite glad I didn't, because I had it intended to do it in the morning, and then I had one of those ridiculous things that happen when you're 51 years old, and I woke up bright as a button after 2 hours of sleep at 12:30 a.m. and thought, what in the holy hell is this? And so I lay in bed for a while, and then I moved to the couch and I read a book for an hour, and then I went back to bed, and the last time I looked at the clock, it was 3:30. I actually sent a text message to my husband to ask my husband if he could not wake me in the morning, and he didn't, bless him, and I was able to sleep a little bit longer. But yeah, it's sometimes the best laid plans, they just go to shit, and that's okay. You can just get up and just do something else instead. Do it a different way. Go live at whatever the time is now. Wherever you are, it'll be behind or ahead, who knows. Some of you are in the UK, I think 2 hours behind you are. So thank you for joining me and my plant cleaning experience. As you can see, she's looking just divine. Look at that. She will appreciate this. I gave her a bit of a drink of water on the weekend, and mindfully talking to you and cleaning my peace lilies leaves at the same time. So I look forward to perhaps catching you again during the week. Thank you all for joining me, and see you around. Bye.